Hello everyone, welcome in free Advanced MS Excel course which has been conducted under bi-analytics.org. Today we'll talk about tutorial number 19 in which we'll talk about Power Pivot Overview, DAX formulas and calculator column. So this is quite interesting tutorial and I'm sure you all will love this learning. I'm your host Saurabh Jain from bi-analytics.org. So let's go directly to our tutorial. Recognition the importance of business intelligence, revolution, and the place Excel holds within it. Microsoft has made substantial investment in improving Excel's BI capabilities, especially focusing on Excel's self-service BI capabilities and the ability to manage and analyze information better from the increasing number of available data sources. So as we know about business intelligence is the revolution in the industry. The key product of this endeavor is Power Pivot. With Power Pivot comes the ability to set up relationships between large data sources and to merge data sources with hundreds of thousands of rows into one analytical engine with Excel. Starting with release of Excel 2013, Microsoft has incorporated Power Pivot directly into our Excel. So, in this tutorial, we will talk about how to use Power Pivot and we'll walk through some of the examples to give you overview of the Power Pivot. There will be a couple of steps. First of all, we will link the data with the Power Pivot. We'll add relationships to table. We will make pivot table and we'll again add formulas for calculate columns in the pivot. So these are the four steps we'll be learning in the Excel. But let's start with try to understand what data we have right now. So let me open the Excel. So we have customers table, invoice header table, and invoice details. Actually, these are the data, not the actual table. We'll convert them into table, but yes, this is the data we have. So when we talk about customer table, this is like customer ID, customer name, discount, address, and various details we have for a particular customer. Every time a new customer is added, it has to be added in this list. Fine. So this is our master data of the customers. We can say like this. Now, second, we have invoice headers, which says invoice date, invoice number, and customer ID. It means we have a unique invoice numbers and every invoice is linked with one customer. So we can say there can be one invoice for customer one and there can be another invoice for the same customer. It may be. So we can have multi customer IDs in this list, but invoice ID will be unique. In the previous one, customer ID was unique. Fine. Now, this is the third one which talks about invoice detail. So every invoice number we have quantity, units cost and unit price. Fine. So now our objective is to identify the total revenue by customers. So what we need to do is first of all we need to identify, say this is the total invoice numbers. So in every invoice how much quantities have been sold, we have to calculate that, and then after that we have to calculate what are the invoice numbers for particular customer. Then we have to sum it out. So we need to apply lots of VLOOKUP formulas and do something, but we will do this thing with the help of our Power Pivot. So our first point will be, so now what we need to do in the PowerPoint 8 steps is first link data with Power Pivot, adding relationships to table, making pivot table, and adding formulas for calculated column. So these are the four things we'll be doing. So let's start with link data with Power Pivot. So what I want to do is this is my first table. So I say Control T. I will make it a table. Okay, and I will name this table as a customers. So I can easily remember customers. Fine. Same way I'll do for invoice header. Control T. My table has a header, and I say invoice header. Fine. So now this is third one. Again I do Control T and say this is like invoice detail. So I've converted. Now what I want to do is Because this is a customer table, I want to add to data model. So we have this Power Pivot tab, and I will say add to data model. If you do not have Power Pivot tab, you have to enable it from the in the ribbon. Fine. So hope you all be able to do it. So let's see. When I clicked on add to data table, it has been into added a data table. Now shows that you have a customer table been linked. Let's close this out. Now add invoice header. Same process, add to data table. Now we see customer and invoice header both has been linked. Now let's add table number third also into data column. So now we have this been linked. So now, but computer doesn't know or Excel doesn't know which customer, how to link these three tables. So linking this table is called adding relationships to the table. How we will do it? We have this data view. Now this is called diagram view. Let's click this diagram. So we can see all these three tables. Now we have to link them. We know that in customer table we have customer ID. In invoice header also customer ID. So I can link this table. I just select it out, drag it out, and link like this. So this has made a relationship. Fine. And this is called one-to-many relationship. If you click out this, you see that customer ID, this. So we have linked this. Fine. Okay. Same way we can link this invoice number to this invoice number. So again, I click it out, and so this has been linked. Fine. So we have a relationship ready. Now everything is data is linked. This is like joins in SQL. In SQLs we do join, and this has been done with the help of Excel with a very easy way, no commands needed. Fine. So in details where what are type of joins we'll talk in latest in the next tutorials. But today we are giving you the overview. Make sure you do all these steps with your hands. You have to download this data from bi-analytics.org website and make sure to do it. Fine. So let's move ahead. So this has been data has been made. Let me close this. So now, whenever you want to go again into data model, you can click on this manage, and this will take you to our data model. Fine. Now, when you talk about go to manage, and see there is a button called pivot table in our model. So now we'll make a pivot table. Let's click this out. New worksheet. I say okay. So now the data has been linked. Now say if I say customer, all the three tables I can see. If I say customer ID and say if I say unit price and I say average unit price, I click value field settings and I click on average. Fine. So look, it has been linked that we can say average of unit price per customer. So that is not our objective. Our objective is to find the total revenue. So now till now what we have done is we have created a data model and we've started using pivot tables. But we do not have total revenue. If you remember, in invoice detail we had unit cost and unit price and quantity. Fine. But we do not have revenue. So first of all, we need to make a revenue column. Let's do that. How we will do it? So now this time we'll not work in Excel, but we'll make a calculate column into our data model. How? Let's see. Let's go into manage. So you have this invoice detail. Now see. Now we are writing a DAX formula. This is something new for you. Details of DAX formula in the new next tutorial, but just let's look into it. So I click on this add column button. Fine. I say write a formula now is equals to quantity it has already taken the formula, multiply by, I say, unit price. Fine, the formula has been written. I click on enter and this has been taken up. So now we have added calculate column. Now we can rename this column. I click on rename and I say revenue. Fine. So now I have revenue added into this. Now let's go into our pivot table again. Let me close this. So I have this pivot table. Now what I can do is see. Now I can see a revenue column also. I click on this. I'll remove this and see now I have, even I can customer name because that is more looks relevant. So see, now I have sum of revenue for each customers. This is fantastic. So we have added revenue. Now let's say we want to do something. We need to identify monthly revenue of each customer. How we can do that? So now we have to add another column into it. Let's see how we can do it. Let's go into our data model. Now see, you have this invoice header. So this was our invoice. Now what I do is I say add column. Now there are formulas like month, year formulas. So what I can do is I say is equals to year. When I say year, you can say of this date. Sorry. Is equals to year. We have invoice date. So here comes the year. Fine. So I can rename this column. Year. Fine. Same way I can use for month also. So say I am clicking on the first blank cell of add column. Now I say is equals to month month. Now in this month, I want to again use invoice date. You have this invoice date. So we have this 5/4 like this. Fine. Okay. What we can do is we can also have name of the months. So I can say is equals to format. Just a minute. First of all, I'll rename this column to month. That will be easy then for us. month month. Fine. Is equals to format format. Fine. Now I say bracket open. Now I say invoice date. Fine. Comma. Inverted commas. I say MMM. Fine. Now bracket close. It should work now. Yes. So what we have done is May, April, May, like this. We have names also available. Fine. Now let's move into our pivot table again and see the magic. So now I want to add also months into this. So now we can see that in invoice header we have months. So let me add months. But where to add months? We have to add months, year. But what we did is we added months. What we should add? Month's name. That will be quite good for us. So what I'll do is instead of month, I add. Look, I forget to rename it out. That's the reason. I go into manage and I forget to rename. So I have to click rename and I say month name like this. So now this will be reflected into our pivot table model. See, now I have month name. I can remove this month. So now we have this. But now see, we have got the revenue by month. But problem is that it says April, Feb, Jan. So what we need to sort it out. So there's a way, there's a trick to do it because it is showing in an alphabetical order. What we can do is I can again go into model and here uh, sort by column. And what we can do, sort by column, we can sort our month name by month. I click OK and now see it will reflect because that was the reason I was doing month like this. So now when I've done this, it has sorted the data based on this number 5432 because this is our actual numbers. April, May, it reflects. So based on this sorting, now we can see the output. So let's see. So we have this now Jan, Feb. So we have all customers and we have data like this. So this is quite interesting way of using pivot tables. So with the help of Power Pivot, we have nullified VLOOKUP and lots of complex formulas and things has become quite easy. An interesting thing is if whenever these three sheets are we have a change in the data, our outcome can also have a reflect the same thing. So that is important thing that it's a dynamic report now available and there can be option to refresh your data or say after every 30 minutes like this also we can do. Fine. So this is something. Now there's another thing. In the customer table we have say we have that for this customer we have particular discount we can give. Say this is 11% discount we can give. So now we can also add this into the specific column. This is well done. So in our table we can calculate this also. Let's see how we can do if we want to do it. I'll again add a manage column. Till now we have learned month, year and format, three DAX formulas, right? Details of total, lots of DAX formulas we'll cover in the next topic. But yes, this is something that we can talk about now. Say you have this. So we have calculated revenue based on the without discounts. Now I want to know how much discount to apply. So we have this and I don't know how to apply. So now based on customers and links, now we can apply this. Let's see how. So I say again the formula is equals to related and see the magic now. When I say related, now it's tell me which one you want to use. So I have the discount amount available. Fine. And as soon as I do this, you will see the magic that I have now available with discounts. So it has linked the discount table based on the customer table and it is given to you. So now what I can do is I can rename and put discount. Fine. So now discount is available. Now I can say final revenue or say discounted revenue and this can be a so I need to add like this. I say is equals to bracket open 1 minus discount discount discount, bracket close, multiply by revenue. So, and now I can say this is rename column and say final revenue. I can say final revenue. Fine. So I have this final revenue which is after discount. So let's see. I'll go again into our this what we say pivot table. And now see I'll have other than revenue even final revenue. So I can even use this one. So here it is. So this is how my pivot table has changed. So this was a video tutorial to make you understand how we have done from starting to end, added a um, data first to data model, then we made a relationship, and after relationship we add some DAX formulas into it. So this was the overview of Power Pivot. Hope you are able to understand it out. And later in the next video tutorial, I'll continue with this with telling you about some measures also. Then we'll talk about a specific course of Power Pivot, sorry, Power Query and DAX formulas. So that will talk in later stages. But hope you are able to understand how Power Pivot works. And if you have an idea how can you use in your organization, please do reply to me in the comments. So let's connect on bi-analytics.org. I am waiting for you all to join this course. Once again, thank you very much.